In today's video, I'm going to be discussing monthly checks for everyone with a new announcement in this one state. I have all the details and why this is such a big deal right here in the video. Let's get into it and discuss what's going on. First off, thank you so much for liking and sharing this video with those buttons right down below. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. Also, as long as you're down there, if you haven't done so yet, or if you happen to be new here, make sure to subscribe to the channel as well. Totally free to do so with the big subscribe button right down below. Again, thank you so much for your support. Really do appreciate it. Let's get into it and talk about what's going on here, as I do want to bring this to your attention, even though it was just announced in one of the states that's out there. However, this is a big deal because it is the first of its kind of this type of program in the United States. But wait, Matt, you talk about universal basic income, guaranteed basic income, monthly checks, ongoing checks, recurring checks, all of these types of programs all the time. How could this possibly be the first of its kind? You're right. I do talk about those types of programs on a regular basis, and I do bring those to your attention because those are going on all across the country, and there's legislation out there to implement these across the entire country as well, not only on a state-by-state level. However, this is a little bit different because all of these other programs that we talk about are guaranteed basic income, in other words, GBI, guaranteed basic income programs. However, here's the difference. This one state is now going to be bringing this to voters a little bit later this year, and it is going to be a universal basic income program. That's the difference, okay? This is a huge deal. Now, I want to point this out really quickly. I'm going to tell you the state that I'm talking about here in just a second, but I want to talk about this really quickly first because this is the first of its kind. So if you're not located within this one state I'm talking about here in this video, don't worry about it. That's okay. That's not really the point here. The point is, let's look at the bigger picture. This is universal basic income that's being introduced. My point is, guaranteed basic income programs are great, but they're highly specified on certain groups or certain people, okay? So don't get me wrong, guaranteed basic income programs are great and they help out a lot of people, but unless you fall into the very small threshold of people that are actually eligible for them, you may not be eligible. Universal basic income, that's everybody. It doesn't matter at all the details about it. Literally, if you're there, you win, okay? That's the point. Universal basic income and guaranteed basic income are very similar. The only difference is GBI, guaranteed basic income, focused on a small group of people that has to fall into certain parameters. Universal basic income includes everybody. Make sense? All right. So anyway, I want to bring this to your attention because, like I said, the first of its kind in this country. We've never seen this before in the United States. So this is big. This is a big deal. All right, so first off, a couple days ago, I was out in a separate live stream talking about this. There was a lot of confusion on that live stream. I had people coming in all over down below in the chat section saying, what about my state? What about my city? What about my, situation? Things like this. And I kept saying, watch the first 10 or so minutes of that video. Now, again, that was in the live stream. I kept coming back. So I want to come back and talk about it really quickly here in this video and clarify this a little bit more here, okay? So, point being, universal basic income, everybody in this state would be getting this check provided voters pass it this fall. And I have a feeling it's going to be passed this fall when it comes down to the voters who have the decision on this. So, let me tell you the state, and then I will tell you the details about it, okay? So, I would recommend hanging around and listening to the details about this after I reveal the state, but I already know basically everyone's going to stop watching this video as soon as I say the name of the state. If you're not located there, I guarantee you, basically everyone's going to stop watching. That's totally fine. Whatever. The confusion will continue. Whatever. That's fine. I guess I'll come back and make another 50 videos about it and talk about all the details again. Fine for me, okay? I have no problem making videos. Anyway, this state is the state of Oregon, okay? So the state of Oregon has a petition. They have collected thousands more signatures than they actually need to get this thing done. So they're going to be bringing it to voters this coming fall. Voters in the state of Oregon will be the ones who decide a universal basic income program in your state. Now, sounds pretty cool, okay? Let me tell you the details, okay? It's a one-time, well, no, I shouldn't say one-time. It's an annual check, one time per year, one annual check of $750 to every resident in the state of Oregon, okay? when I say every resident, I literally mean every resident. That's the difference between universal basic income and guaranteed basic income. Every single resident of that state, the state of Oregon, would be eligible to get this one-time payment, or I should say one annual. So every year you get one check, okay? One check from the state of Oregon, and it's going to be $750. That's what it is, $750 one time per year, okay? Now, how can you get this money? You can get it in a couple of different forms. Number one, the option would be a cash payment. In other words, you get a direct deposit, you get a paper check, whatever they decide to do. I don't know. I didn't see that detail, but they said a cash payment, $750. Okay, awesome. Option two would be basically a refund on your tax return, okay? Let me give you a quick example. Let's just say that you're located in the state of Oregon and you owe the state $1,000 in state income taxes or state taxes, right? So you file your tax return and you realize, uh-oh, this is not a fun day. I owe $1,000 to my state. Not a cool situation, right? In that situation, you could have it applied as a credit to your refund, or a credit to your tax liability in this case. So you owe the state $1,000. They apply the $750 basically UBI payment, and in the form of a tax credit, and therefore, rather than owing them $1,000, you now owe them $250. That is the other option, okay? So these are the two options in which they basically identified as saying these are the ways that you could get that $750. And again, I want to emphasize, this is not a monthly payment. It is a one-time per year, once annual, $750 payment. Now, let me give you a quick example, okay? The state of Alaska also sends out their annual dividend fund, right? It's different every year, but every resident of the state of Alaska does kind of the same thing. I wouldn't call it a universal basic income program in Alaska because the reasons are different, okay? But that is kind of a very similar thing. Residents of Alaska also get their annual dividend payment, right? The oil dividend payment, or the official name of it. But anyway, that's kind of the example I wanted to give you really quickly, okay? Now, you might be wondering, okay, I'm located in the state of Oregon. How are they going to pay for this? Are they going to tax the crap out of me to get all this money? Well, kind of, yeah. But let me tell you how they're going to do it. They're going to implement a 3% tax on corporations with sales of $25 million or more, okay? So that's how they're going to get it, okay? They're going to go after the corporations. But I want to point this out really quickly. Anybody with a brain can figure this out, okay? It's not that hard to figure out. When corporations are taxed more, what do? They raise their prices. So who ultimately at the end of the day is going to pay for this? The consumers are going to pay for it. I mean, that's how it always works, right? Let me give you another really quick example. California, just recently, I think it was, I don't know when it started, maybe May 1st or something like that. I don't know. A couple months ago, state of California implemented this new $20 per hour fast food minimum wage, okay? Awesome. Fast food restaurant workers are earning a lot more money now, $20 an hour. That's really, really cool, right? However, who's paying for that? The consumer is. Okay? Like I said, anybody with a brain can figure this out. It's not that hard to figure out. It's simple margins. It's simple business. When the business has more expenses, what do they need to do? They need to raise their prices to maintain their margins and keep the lights on. Apparently, some people can't figure this out, but that's what happens, and exactly how they're going to pay for this $750 annual payment in the state of Oregon as well, is they're basically going to levy corporations and ask them for an extra 3% tax, which ultimately will come back to the consumer because the corporations must raise their prices because they can't potentially take on another 3% fee on top of that. So ultimately, at the end of the day, yes, the consumers and the residents of Oregon will be the ones paying for it, but at the end of the day, you'll still get that one-time $750 one payment per year. That's what it comes down to be, okay? I want to emphasize that because it's not per month, it's per year is what that comes out to be. But long story short here, this would go out to every single resident of the state of Oregon. It would not be like, it's just the low income, it's just the middle class, it's just this population over here in this one city. No, it's not that. It's every single resident of the state of Oregon would be eligible regardless of income. That's the difference of UBI versus guaranteed basic income. Guaranteed basic income only sends out payments to specified groups of people based on income, demographics, location, all kinds of things like this, okay? That's the difference with GBI. This is universal basic income. Everybody. So the guy that's, having no income and he, barely scraping by, maybe living with friends and family, or maybe even homeless, okay? That person is going to get the same $750 payment as the guy down the street making $10 million bucks a year, okay? They're all going to get a $750 payment. Does that make sense? If, again, I want to emphasize this again, if voters pass it this coming fall, okay, this will be voted on by the voters in the state of Oregon this coming fall, okay? So it's all up to the voter at this point. And if it is approved, which I would be shocked if it's not approved, I would be absolutely 100% shocked if they don't approve this. But if they approve this this fall, then there you go, okay? But again, obviously more can change between now and then. But they're basically in the process now of, they have the petition. It gathered thousands more signatures than it actually needed to. And now they're going to go through the official process of adding it to the ballot later this fall. And then again, state residents of Oregon get to vote on it. Hey, that's a real difficult decision to vote on, right? Do I want to get an annual check of $750? Let me think for a minute. Gee, I don't know. Where should I vote? Yes or no? That's a real tough one there. I'm going to have to think about it for a while, right? So anyway, real tough to figure that one out. I think a lot of people are going to be on the yes side of that vote. But I don't know. I don't want to persuade anybody to vote either way. I don't really care. Do what you got to do. That's just the state of Oregon, okay? My point is, now, long story short, why am I making a big deal about this? I'm making a big deal about it because it is the first of its kind universal basic income program in the United States. We've never seen anything like this before other than guaranteed basic income. We've seen plenty of those. There's plenty of those that are all around out there right now across the entire country, but we've never seen a UBI program. My point is, when this passes, if this thing passes in the state of Oregon, which, like I said, I think it will, when this thing passes, get ready. You will see more states taking this on. I guarantee it. Just like the guaranteed basic income programs that we saw pop up a few years ago, these were not a thing as of 5-6 years ago. Guaranteed basic income programs were not a thing. Now they're everywhere. There's about 150 of them across the entire country right now because one person in one city, in one state, had an idea about 5 years ago or so, give or take a little bit, okay? My point is, same situation here. One state has an idea. They have this petition. Now, I would not be shocked one bit at all to see this pop up on other state levels as well. Hey, everybody, we're going to do a universal basic income program, and we're going to send out checks to everybody. Make sense? Anyway, I'm going to leave it at that for now. But again, as always, just like the live stream, I hope this clarifies it. There was so much confusion the other day in that live stream. I thought, you know what? I got to talk about this. I got to make a dedicated video. And if there's still confusion, if everybody popped off the video, when I revealed the state, which I anticipate everybody did, I will know in the analytics of this video because I'll see exactly where everybody stopped watching the video. And that's totally fine. Okay? I can come back. And like I said, I can make another 50 videos about this if I want to, because it's going to be confusion forever about this. But either way, I want to help you out in any way that I possibly can. Please subscribe down below, share the video, like the video, all down below. Leave a comment, question, and feedback down below. I'd love to hear what you have to say about this. Otherwise, check out the other videos here on the channel, the thousands in the video library, the ones I've hand selected for you down below in the description or the top of the comment section. And right now, pop on up our screeners as well. You'll see some videos there. So check out one of those. Otherwise, until next time, enjoy your day. Take care. Have a good one. And I'll catch you in later.